Logan, for most drivers, a tale of two halves today, but for you, just the one half. Let's talk about FP1. P15 looked like a positive start to the day.
Yeah, I think generally, considering my first time at the track, I got comfortable pretty quickly. I think, got off on the right foot, had the car in a good window, was even on a really good lap, got a little bit of traffic in the last sector. So I think, in general, it was a positive start. Unfortunate to have missed FP2, but the boys are working flat out to get us ready for tomorrow.
What do you think of the circuit?
It's a tricky one, that's for sure. It's taken a bit of building up to. Still some time to find in the high speed of turn 6 and T9 and 10, but it's a really cool one, and I've always dreamed of going through 9 and 10, so it's nice to tick that off.
Yeah, I can imagine it must have been. It's a very unique circuit in that it's a park circuit, neither kind of permanent circuit, not quite a street circuit. How do you wrap your head around how much risk you can afford to take around here?
Yeah, well, it's more like a normal circuit, but the walls are close, so you know that. But I think one thing I found challenging about the circuit is that on every entry to the corner there's grass, which is quite cool as well, because you have to find the right margins to how far you can push using all the road on the entry, and that's what we live for. But it definitely makes it more difficult.
What also makes it difficult, I imagine, is a lack of runtime this afternoon. What are you hoping for tomorrow morning, other than, I guess, dry running?
Yeah, I think looking at the forecast, it looks dry for the rest of the weekend. So, we just need to get out there, maximize our time that we have in FP3, because, we did miss some running today. But quite confident considering we had the car in a good window, so there shouldn't be too many major changes that need to be made. And just a bit more building up for myself, then we should be on it come qualifying.
Alex, two very different practice sessions today. Let's start with P1, P12 for you. At the end of that, it looked like a pretty good morning.
It was, and it was on the medium tyre as well, so we're pretty happy with where we are. That soft tyre is a bit tricky. You can see everyone struggling around with it. It was like that last year, and this year's gone a compound stiffer as well, so it means that soft tyre is a little bit... the ones who can get it to work, I think, are going to do really well in qualifying. The ones who can't are going to struggle. So we need to make sure we get it working.
And then obviously we moved into P2 this afternoon. Very cold, not very representative. Then the rain came. Obviously, it dropped down the order in terms of time for you this afternoon. But do we read too much into that?
Exactly. Well, we did half a lap in FP2 on the dry. Went out maybe a little bit later when it started to rain, unfortunately. And then we did the wet running. Actually, was quite fun, quite good. Enjoyed it out there. I don't think it will really mean anything. I think Saturday and Sunday will be dry, but it's good information for the future, for the next few races. If it is, last year the inter tyre wasn't very good, and they've made some good steps so far.
This is the thing, obviously the cars have changed between last year and this in terms of floor height. As you say, the tyres changed as well. What differences did you feel both in the car and the tyre?
It's been a big difference. It's been one of the biggest differences. I think people don't talk about it enough, that last year to this year the tyres have been generally better, but it just means everything you've learned about how to work the tyre and also get the most out of it, race runs, whatever it may be. It's you kind of throw everything in the bin and start again. So sessions like that were super valuable for us to learn how that inter-tyre behaves. It's one of the bigger differences in compound tyre changes they've done from last year.
Williams has been one of the good news stories of the season in terms of your competitiveness, both quali pace and your race pace. What are your hopes and expectations for tomorrow?
We got a point last year, so hopefully we can repeat that. We've got a more competitive car. I do think that midfield, again, is extremely tight. It's going to be a couple of tenths that makes it or breaks it. We just got to make sure that we are optimising everything, getting the tyres to work. I don't see why we can't get some more points.